On today's video, we are going to be making over several projects. They're going to be garden style projects using milk paint, mineral paint, some spray paint, some Orchid Design molds, some DIY paint, and some waxes. And we're going to be using some IOD transfers. Let's go ahead and get started. The first project, we will be using some of the Homestead House milk paint in the color Sturbridge White. This is a white milk paint. The first thing you're going to do is you're going to mix up some warm water with the milk paint equal parts. And we're going to be making over this adorable little broken shovel. It was one of my kids' shovels. We have a whole set of these. I actually went out into my yard and found all of them, but this is just one that was broken, and I wanted to make it over into an adorable little decoration. You can use a little miniature one, or if you have a full-size one you want to make over, you could do that as well. So the first thing that I did is I took out some Ash Fusion Mineral Paint, and I gave it a couple coats of paint, and then I let that milk paint sit there for about 10 minutes. After it sits for about 10 minutes, you're going to want to stir it up really good. And then you're just going to apply a coat of the milk paint, and then you're going to hit it with your heat gun. And you're going to do that probably about 3 or 4 times until you get the coverage that you want. If you want to do less coats of paint, you can just do less water to milk paint ratio. So that's all I'm doing. My name is Emily, and I'm with J. Bowen and Company. If you've been here before, welcome back. And if this is your first time here, welcome. We're going to have a lot of fun today. I think you're really going to like these projects. So y'all stick around to the end. I think you're going to get some good ideas, and you're going to be able to make over some items that you already have in your home, or you can find some similar ones to make over yourself. So now I've already have several coats of the paint. We're just going to keep hitting it with the heat gun, and it's going to give us that really good chippy crackle. If you've never used milk paint, it's a lot of fun to use. It gives you some really good aged and authentic look. If you're interested in any of these products that you see on my video today, including the paints, the Orchid Design products, you can find those on my website, and they're available for purchase, and I'll put a link to them in the description as well as in the comments. Okay, y'all, look at that chippy goodness right there. Isn't that pretty? I found this really pretty transfer. It's these pansies from the Wild Bloomin' transfer set. I believe that's the transfer set that it came from. And now I'm just going to take a little bit of sandpaper, and I'm going to sand that milk paint just to get off any of the big chips. And then I'm going to just wipe it down, and then I'm going to take some liquid patina from DIY. This is liquid patina's top coat. DIY's top coat. It also serves as a decoupage medium or a waterproof outdoor top coat. Sorry about that. So I'm just going to apply that and let it dry. And then now I'm going to take that transfer and I'm going to apply it directly to this shovel. I'm now taking this transfer from Orchid Designs Wild Bloomin'. I'm pretty sure it's from Wild Bloomin' set. I now have the new Wild Bloomin' set in stock, as well as the Katharina set. Those are from the last release. So if you haven't picked up those, you should. But putting on a transfer, applying a transfer is very easy. You're just going to stick it down and rub with that stick right there. It comes with every transfer set. This piece was a little bit more difficult because it had a raised area. And so anyway, I'm just going with it. If it's a flat surface, it's much easier. But basically, you're just going to rub with that stick and then pull up and rub and pull up. And then it's just going to transfer to your piece. If it's not applied, or if it hasn't applied or come off from that transfer sheet, you just put it back down and then rub it. And eventually, it will all completely stick to your piece. And then you're just going to go ahead and rub it in with your fingers. I'm now taking some aging wax from Fusion Mineral Paint, and I'm going to apply it. Y'all, I wanted you to know that I have all of my waxes back in stock, all my DIY waxes, The black wax, dark wax, clear wax, white wax, they're all back in stock. I've got plenty of them now. If you'd like to purchase them, they are now available. But all you're going to do is you're just going, and I also have these Fusion mineral paint waxes too, but all you're going to do is you're just going to apply it to your piece, and then you're going to wipe it back with a paper towel. If you think there's too much wax on there and you want to lighten it up, you can go back with a wet wipe. But because I'd already applied that sealer, the big top sealer, it's not going to get as dark as if you put the Fusion dark wax or aging wax directly on the milk paint. If you like how this project turned out, hit that like button and don't forget to hit that subscribe button so you don't miss any upcoming videos, and hit that notification bell. The next project is this little birdhouse caddy that I picked up. It looked like a birdhouse caddy when I picked it up, but then I put it in the dishwasher. I thought it was wood, but turns out it was some of that manufactured wood stuff. So it ended up messing up the little ridges of that birdhouse. You'll see in a second what I'm talking about. But I ended up giving this a coat of primer. And now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take the trimmings mold. This is the Trimmings 3 mold from IOD. And I'm going to take out some Iron Orchid Design air dry clay. And I am going to make some little trim and replace the edges of the birdhouse. It looked like a birdhouse when I bought it, but you can't tell that now. But anyway, the first thing you're going to do is you're just going to take some cornstarch, put it into your mold. You're going to roll up your clay. You're going to press it down and pinch off the excess. And then you're going to have some air dry clay, a mold or casting of the mold. It's really easy. I have 4 of these different trimming molds. If you haven't picked up one of these are very good molds to have. You can use them on a number of projects, but I thought this would be perfect because I thought it looked a little bit lacking without this. So that's all I'm doing. I am just preparing this mold, and now I'm going to turn it over and I'm going to let it come out, and then I'm going to break it into the correct length, and I'm going to take some quick and thick Titebond quick and thick glue. I'm going to apply it to the air dry clay, and then I'm going to just apply it to the edge. Okay, you see what I'm talking about now? That was actually, there were little pieces of wood, but when I put it in, I ran it through the dishwasher because it was filthy. And because it was that fake wood stuff, it just pretty much disintegrated it and ruined it. I ended up having to take my little nail gun too, and I had to tack it back together. But it's all good now. So I also had these molds that I had previously made with resin, and they are from the Sparrow's Nest mold. When I said the last release, I'm not talking about this past one. It's the one that was right before then. This was a very popular mold, the Sparrow's Nest mold, and I now have them back in stock too. I sold out of this one almost immediately, so I got some more of them in, and now they're on my website. But this is a very great classic mold. If you don't have it, if you love birds, you're going to love this particular mold. So basically, I had made these castings a while back out of resin, and now I'm just taking that Titebond quick and thick, and I'm just rubbing it all over the back side, and then I'm going to place them on the caddy. And then I'm going to take some tape and I'm going to tape them down, because I have learned the hard way, if you don't tape them down, they can slide off of your piece. So here I am just taking some of that tape. This kind of tape also works really good if you're framing pieces. You can put it on the back of your framed art and it looks really good too. So that's all I'm doing, is I'm just pressing them down. You could also use a clamp if you have a clamp, but this works pretty good. And now I'm just going to continue around the entire piece, being careful not to mess up the air dry clay molds that I put on the roof line. So they've been sitting a while, and they have pretty much, they're not all the way dry, but they're not moving. I tested them to make sure. So now they're good to go and I'm ready to paint. So I'm going to paint this piece in the DIY color Farm Fresh. It's a very pretty summery kind of turquoise green color. I asked my daughter to vote. I was just going to do it in a neutral color because I tend to like to do things like in, tans and taupes. But I thought that might be a little boring, and I'll showcase a new DIY color that I've never used. But if you don't like this particular color, you can do this same technique with any color. So DIY paint is a clay-based paint. It can be reactivated with water, so you do have to put a sealer on. So what you're going to do with this paint is you're just going to you got to stir it up, make sure you stir it up really good, and then you're just going to cover your piece. It ended up taking 2 separate coats of paint, and I'm not going to make y'all watch all that, but I painted it with 2 separate coats of paint, and I'll let it dry completely. You can let it dry overnight, or you can hit it with a heat gun. And then I went ahead and took some of that liquid patina. I thought I'd make this piece waterproof, and I went ahead and I covered the entire piece with the liquid patina, and then I let that dry completely. This way, if you wanted to have it outside, it would be compatible with being outside. The liquid patina is waterproof and makes it okay to be outside. I had this bright idea to set it outside so it would dry quicker, and then I brought it inside and it was really hot, and I decided to apply this white wax, and guess what, y'all, it was melting. This little caddy was so hot from sitting out in the sun that it melted. So I just applied a little bit, and then I decided I better let this caddy cool off or it might mess up this wax. So, okay, it's now cooled off, and I'm going back with the white wax. This is DIY's white wax. Fusion also has a white wax. It's called liming wax. So, depending on which one you're interested in, the Fusion is called liming wax. The DIY wax is called the white wax. They're both really good waxes. So you're just going to apply it, and then you're going to rub it off, and it's going to cause all of the details in the mold to show up and stand out. You could have used, I could have used a dark wax or a white wax. I think white wax looks a little bit more summery, so that's why I went with the white wax. But I'm just going to apply it all over, except for in the actual cubby holes, because that already has the liquid patina, so it doesn't need any of the white wax for protection or anything like that. This is just to accent the castings. But look how good that trimming mold turned out. I think it ended up looking really good, and I think it really made this little cubby or caddy look a lot better. So I hope you enjoyed this project, but you can see how you can apply these molds to just about anything. You can put them on, of course, caddies or flower pots or any kind of decorative vases or anything like that, and they really enhance your piece. If you like this project, remember to hit that thumbs up, and thank you so much for being here with me today. I really appreciate you, and leave me a comment. I promise I will get back to you as soon as I can. I love talking to you in the comments. Sorry guys, I have a bit of a cold, so that's why I sound a little bit funny. The next caddy is this lovely little, I don't even know why it looked like that, but it had this paper on there. I bought it the same time I bought that Birdhouse Caddy. I think I picked them up for $1.02 each. And I went ahead and took it outside, and I used my orbital sander to sand off that paper. I was unable to get it off just by cleaning it, so I thought the fastest way would be to use my orbital sander. And y'all, I'm sorry, I'm a little bit stopped up. I know it sounds a little bit funny, but then I went ahead and just gave it a good clean. It was absolutely filthy. It had some sticky tag residue, so I went ahead and used my little scraper and got all that sticky residue off, and then I gave it 2 coats of paint. This is the beautiful color Elmwood. It is a rich taupe color. It's Fusion mineral paint. This paint has a built-in primer, a built-in top coat, and it is self-leveling. I applied 2 coats of the Elmwood Fusion Mineral Paint, and then I let it dry completely. And then I took out the Wild Bloomin' Transfer set, or what is left of that set of mine. And then I just started to look through it. I thought this would make a fun little garden caddy, or even for utensils and napkins and things like that. So I just looked through this set and I picked out some fun florals and birds and butterflies, and then I just went ahead and applied them to all 4 corners of this tote. I also thought this tote would be really cool with milk paint, and I was tempted to do it, but I thought I would just leave it alone since I did the other project with milk paint already. So y'all let me know what you think about this project. I'm just going to let y'all watch this while I apply it. And don't forget to let me know which one of these projects is your favorite of all of the projects. I also wanted to let you know that Fusion Mineral Paint is safe for outdoor use. It's rated for outdoor, so it won't fade and it won't mess up. So you can paint whatever you want to with the Fusion Mineral Paint, and after it cures, it's safe outside. I wanted to take a minute to invite you over to Facebook to join my Facebook page, but also my creative community. There's a link in the description. That is a place where you can join totally free. You can meet like-minded people, other crafters and artists. There's some very talented artists on there. You're going to get a lot of ideas, make some new friends, and I think you will really enjoy all the inspiration that you're going to get over there, and you can share your projects as well. We would love to have you in our creative group, so just head to the comments and you can join that. Totally free, just as you can subscribe to this channel. It's all completely free to subscribe, and subscribing to my channel just supports me and it helps my channel grow. I'm now applying some of the Fusion Aging Wax. It looks like it was a little melty. I keep it outside in my garage, and it had melted a little bit just in the heat. So y'all think about that where you store it, because in this heat it can melt if you're not careful. But I don't think it's going to mess it up or anything. But I'm just going to apply it and then wipe it off, and it's just going to seal in the transfers. And now for the final reveal. Y'all let me know what you think of this garden caddy. I think I could add a little bit of a crackle stamp or something like that just to jazz this up a little bit. I think a garden caddy like this would be a great gift for a friend or a relative or just for your personal use. There's all kinds of things you could do with this. What would you use this for? The last project is a really quick project. I had picked up this little bird cage. I painted it white a while back, and then I decided to just take it outside and give it a good coat of gold paint. For some reason, I can't remember why, but I bought a bunch of different gold paints, so I have a whole stack of them in my garage to use, and I just gave it a coat of paint. This is, I believe, Rust-Oleum metallic gold. It really makes this birdhouse look more high-end, and it just took a few minutes. This gold metallic paint for some reason dries very, very fast, and you'll see here in a second it just gives it a more high-end look. Y'all let me know which one of these projects is your favorite. If you're in the mood for more thrift flips, I have a whole lot of more thrift flip videos for y'all to check out. They'll be right there on the screen. And thank you so much for watching, and y'all have a fabulous holiday.